What's up guys, it's Brad from JBH Media here. Today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on how you can create some environmental interaction with your muzzle flashes inside of Adobe After Effects. I created this fight scene a few weeks ago. It's kind of like a night gang fight in an alley. I'm just kind of going over a few of the really basic effects that I use in the video. Muzzle flashes are a fairly simple effect, but you can kind of push them to look a little bit more realistic with some basic techniques that I'll go through in this video. So let's get started here. So this is our clip inside of After Effects, and I'll kind of show you what we're working with here. This is the original file. This is the flat pass, which means it's a little bit milky. It doesn't have that cinematic contrast that you would get in a film look. It gives you a lot of detail to do your visual effects. So we'll be working with it for now. So here's the clip. He's just taken out some of these guys that are on the ground here, and now he's going to shoot the guy that's actually coming up from behind this truck. You don't see in this portion of the video. But yeah, let's get started here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find some muzzle flashes, and we're going to use actually use Action Essentials, which is my kind of go-to resource for muzzle flashes these days. We'll just use Muzzle Flash 3, drag that on top, and we'll also use Muzzle Flash 4. So let's go ahead and take Muzzle Flash 4 out for now. We'll go to the point where he fires, so probably right about there we'll do it. So we're just going to drag this over so that our muzzle flash starts on that frame. These muzzle flashes in particular are 2 frames, so I like to make them just 1, so I just take off that first frame. We'll just drag it and position it. This is kind of the basic muzzle flash tutorial that you'll get most of the time. Just kind of add that right there. Depending on the size you want it to be, I'll just do something like this. I like to change the mode to add, give it a little bit brighter look. And then this still really isn't that realistic yet, so what we're going to do is we're going to just add a little directional blur to it. And we'll just make it a little bit blurry to maybe do 10 pixels, maybe 25. And now we've kind of made it a little bit more interact with the environment a little bit more. As you can see, it's a little bit too sharp when you take off this blur, so we just blur it a little bit, maybe go even 35. That makes it look a little bit better. And also we're getting a little bit on top of well, actually no, it's okay. If it were going over this door here, we'd mask it out, but it should be fine. So now that we've added our flash, we'll position our second flash and make it right about here, like he's firing 2 kind of right after each other. We'll just reposition this one the same way. Very basic stuff. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take out the portion that's kind of overlaid on this door here, because that wouldn't make sense that it's over that door. So we'll make a mask there, and then we'll just make the mask a subtract. And now as you can see, it's not going over the door like it was before. And we'll do the same kind of blur effect on our Muzzle Flash 4 here. So just go ahead and go down to the Muzzle Flash 3, the first Muzzle Flash we made, and just click on the directional blur we created. Just go Edit, Copy, go to Muzzle Flash 4, and then Edit, Paste. And it's just going to paste that same directional blur on top of your Muzzle Flash. And then also make your second Muzzle Flash add as well, so it's a little bit brighter. So this is our first step. Now the real purpose of this tutorial is obviously to show the environmental interaction with the footage. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our base layer footage, we're going to click Control D, and that's going to duplicate the layer. Then we're going to make this layer add, and that's going to make it kind of like a brighter image. And what we're going to do is we're going to mask out on this layer all the portions of the footage that we want to light up. So for example, this muzzle flash could be lighting up this the back side of this window here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this little window. Just kind of a rough mask. And that's going to be our first layer of mask. As you can see, now we've just brightened that part of the window, but we're going to kind of feather that mask to make it a little bit more seamless. We'll just go here and we'll go to 25 maybe. And then we'll go to expansion, and we'll make the expansion maybe -5. Maybe -10. Something like that. Expansion is just expanding the mask. So see how this mask went over into the actual door itself instead of the window? I'm just kind of pulling it back so it doesn't light up the outside of the door as well. We just want it to light up the glass area. But yeah, that's our first step. Now we're going to choose another part of the footage that we think would be brighter. So probably maybe his face would be a little bit brighter as well. So we'll mask around this. And essentially, you can kind of play around with it a little bit. Since the flash is just going to be a frame, you can have a little bit of creative freedom on what you want to light up. It doesn't have to be entirely realistic. It just has to feel realistic for the frame that it exists on. So I'm going to go ahead and light up all this area around the man firing the weapon here. So I'm just going to light up a little bit of the ground too, and just kind of create this mask all the way around our character here. And now, as you can see, we've lit up 2 areas, both the window and the kind of the environment around the guy firing here. And we're also going to feather this mask. So go to mask 2, and go to feather, and we'll feather maybe 40. Try 40. Obviously that's not there yet. Just kind of increase it a little bit. The more you feather it, the more, yeah, kind of sell the effect a little bit better. Everything kind of fades off, nice and smoothly. So that's kind of the general idea. As you can see, we've just kind of chosen a frame here to brighten, chosen where in the frame to brighten up for that muzzle flash, and then we'll go. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the transform settings of this footage, and we're going to go click on the keyframe for opacity, and we're going to make that, we'll go 50% opacity. So 50% opacity on the frame in which he's firing. And then we'll go back 1 frame, click Control left arrow key, and then we'll change the opacity to 0. So now we have, when we go up over 1, it brightens the frame. Then over 1 more to right after he fires the weapon, we'll change that opacity back to 0. So now we have a flash right on when he fires. And we'll do the same thing for the first time he fires. So we'll just click on opacity, make sure it's 0. Then we'll add a keyframe there, go over 1, do maybe 50%, and then over 1 more, 0. So now we have a little flash there as well. And one thing it's nice to look at, since we're looking at kind of the flat version of this footage, it's nice to add a little adjustment layer to see what your final output is going to be. So just add a little color correction, add a little curves to increase the contrast, if you plan on adding a little contrast increase in post anyway. And as you can see, once you add that contrast, it looks a little bit more realistic. So that's working pretty well here. You can kind of play with it if you wanted to, obviously if you wanted to mask out this area and make that brighter as well, you could. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it as is. It's been long enough already for this very basic effect. But yeah, that's the general idea. As you can see here, we're getting this kind of environmental interaction as she shoots, which is working pretty nicely. And yeah, essentially that's the tutorial, guys. I hope this video was helpful. Feel free to watch the actual this scene that we created here. I'll put a link on the screen right now if you want to take a look at that. Kind of a concept scene for a short we're about to make. So give it a look, let me know what you think, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Hope this helps.